Good morning to all. I hope you can hear me. Okay, so uh, both for us, it's a very crucial period of time in which uh, both CUET PG, our PG entrance students, also net JRF students are on the way to attend their most important exam. CUET PG comes on 11th Sunday. And net JRF exam comes on 15th. So um, I thought of addressing the whole students and also to discuss some of the uh, questions that were pending the last time we couldn't complete it. Um, so let me ask you first of all, do you guys have any concern with regard to exam? So we have both QET PG and JRF batch here right now. We're going to discuss some few questions, and I will also try to convey uh, a few of the strategies that you can adopt, uh, particularly in the context of this exam period. That time I have already conveyed many things in as part of many sessions, but last for the last few days I've been getting calls, and students are messaging me that they are not like feeling of tension and stress and many things they're facing. uh, so I want to encourage you all in this very crucial time, uh, that you don't need to be worried about what's going to happen tomorrow. So first of all, let me tell you all, that's where we have come. Still this day, if we look onto NetJR, the QET PG preparation, we started last September, and it's almost 10 months, 11 months almost finished, almost a year, we can say. And even if you look for NTA net JR of our net batch, for many it were like only 2 months or 3 months, some it was like more than 1 year. But anyway, you have covered 5 years of psychology post UG and PG, so you have come thus far, and that's not a simple thing. You have covered all the milestones from the 10th to the 12th to the degree, or some two after the PG, some have already in the job profile. Uh, so the nothing should make you worry, because the worry will does nothing. Worrying will actually does nothing, and it will actually deteriorate our functioning. I'm speaking very practical. I don't want to make very theoretical in the way. So I can understand the emotion that you all are going through, because we know this is a one stop exam, which only will give you different paths, but it's not actually like that. Also in life we have different paths. We don't know where we'll be leading to. And one thing I have repeatedly telling in my net batch also last day, um, I was telling to few students also the same thing, that these entrance exam, these victories, these achievements are not something like the world is actually giving them. I don't know, many guys, if you think in that way, it's not an issue actually. I personally believe that these things are not to be grabbed, to be run back and catch it, not to be grabbed from something. We can't grab a net or JRF or a good QET rank. These things will be allotted to you. So think in that term. It's given to you, not you are taking it. When you're taking it, it will be like we will feel the stress of achieving something, stress of grabbing something. So instead of doing that approach, thinking in that perspective, if I am the right candidate, if I am well prepared, even though I'm a human, I may fail sometime, I may miss my preparation at times, but I have done up to my level. Or if I fail, even that's okay. Everyone do fail. No one is perfect in this field, in this world. So if I am the right candidate, if I am well prepared, net will come to my hand. QET PG will come to my hand. Good university email will mail me. They will allot me. They will tag me in the first rank or the second rank or the 10th rank or wherever rank you are. It's they giving you, not you trying to get into the table. If you think in that terms, you will be mentally free, I hope. Something, whatever that is meant for me, it will come to my hand in due time. So nothing to worry. And please do think these emotional things play a huge part. And usually I tell, I really want to actually do a research in those area. Um in the face of an emotional time, in the face of a very conflicting, very vulnerable situation, because you will be going to an exam center, which is a very strange situation for you. You will be allotted in front of a computer. Last day I was attending an exam, and everything was strange to me. In between, it was a CBT exam. It was a very high level exam of DRDO. In between my exam time, my screen got off. Like I was thinking, if I were in my UG and PG days, I would tremble. But like I was pretty cool, and I stood up, and I told them my screen got off, and they immediately took me into another computer room, and I started entering my username and password. It was not working, but I still able to maintain my cool, because I don't because I was the thing is that I was not that bothered about the consequence. As MS Dhoni always used to tell, what makes you stressful? Because you're thinking about the result. Do not think about the result. Do not enjoy too much when the result come, and do not be sad when the result come. Whatever you can do right now, do it. That's all we can. And always do maintain a posture in which you have to tell yourself that I'm cool, I'm calm. Like the way Emiliano Martinez, the way he covered the Argentinian goalpost during the final between Argentina and France. His emotional tone, his presence of mind, his ability to, he maintained that calmness, he maintained that confidence. So this is something very important. Because if emotions come and if emotions hit it, we know that we have already learned in the chapter emotions. If emotions hit it, it will process. Cognition will be absent. So our cognitive thing will not work out. Do not allow to emotion to override you. Tell to yourself that, okay, I have done my part. Right now, give me the questions. Whatever I can answer, I will answer. Sometimes in the midst of the exam, I may make some errors. For example, me, I'm taking classes for you. I've been in the coaching field for last 4 or 5 years. I made a lot of mistakes in the last exam. And I was like, why? But it's okay. Yeah, I have done it. So nothing to bother more about. When if the result comes, if I'm selected, it's okay. Then if it's not, it's not. So take in that way, the world will not end. Don't get too much worried. Whatever you can do today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow for QET PG, revise everything. Once again, look through all the thing. What if any portions you feel it is missing? Go and check and read with that. Eat good food. Eat lots of water. Have a chocolate or a nuts or something in your hand. Even if some strange situation happens, for example, like this, computer screen got off or any other things happen, or like even if you're physically weak and all, don't get worried and don't skip the exam at any cost. At any cost, even I would say, even if you're not well physically, strive your maximum to just go and attempt. Anyway, just go and attempt. In the extreme case, so seek the support of your well, like your family members. If someone is there to if someone is there to assemble to be with you for going to the exam, it's good. Even if it is not, it's okay. Sometimes you may be getting centers in different, I don't know where you have. Can you please tell where your centers are for QET PG and net and all? I think the admit card will be already released, right? The city intimation will be so have you checked it? Can you just put in the chat which all are your exam centers? So someone was messaging me in the morning, they got very far area, and that's usually a trend right now. These NTA guys are giving exam centers very far from our place in which we have given the option. um, which all area you got as exam centers? Can you please put in the chat? My god, Coimbatore, Alappuzha, Thrissur. Okay, Thrissur, it might be on the, I think, in the east for their west. In the west for there is an area. Almost everything will be computer centers only. Okay, okay, different centers. So if there will be a particular time they will might be telling, I would suggest go 1 hour before that. Go to that place. Sometimes you need to stand outside. It's okay. So get used to that place. So we don't know what will happen. So at any cost, don't take any risk. Don't go for last moment. Try go very early. I still remember writing my Pondicherry exam in 2016. Uh, it was a very long area. Morning 3 a.m. I take the bus and I went there. I reached there 7 a.m. The exam was only 10. We stood there for almost 2 hours, 2.5 hours. But there were some people who, like, it was a very remote area. Something happened if we are not getting the right buses. We don't know. So I'm not. So you can go there, sit and revise, right? So don't take any risk. Try as early as possible to reach the exam center. Even if the exam center is near to your house, it's better to go early. And please avoid, like, you can talk to your friends and all after the exam. Please keep that what do not allow anyone to distract your mood. It would be nice if you can talk less. These days, if you can just distract yourself from social media, whatever in the world may happen, it's nothing bothering you. There is only one important aim for you. You just focus in it. Whatever may happen around the world, let's abstain from looking statuses or stories or that and this. I don't know. It's based on you. If that makes you more emotionally active, you can do it. It's all unique. It's all personal. But I'm suggesting you, if you can take a 2 3 or a 1 week break from anything that distracts you. So tell your parents honestly, because they don't know. They might come and again nag you, like, please give me some personal space. I'm in front of them. So uh, help me to be more what focus on my aim. So these things are very important. Have good food and eat lots of water, because our brain needs to process. You can have chocolates and all in between, so that brain will be eat food, don't skip the food and all. And do one thing. Last day also I faced it, because I was basically continuously sitting in front of the laptop, and this sitting in front of the screen for many hours, it's like very tiring. So you have to be prepared for it. You have to be prepared for it. And ask, I would say, I would suggest you might be already knowing the same platform that we are doing our mock test. The Crackworthy's test platform is very similar to the is very similar to the actual test portal. So before starting the exam itself, most probably they will give you additional sheets to work out, and they will take you from that before you leave. So carry your admit card, your original ID, and rough sheets they will give you. So carry that worksheets. And even if you ask for a one more also, it's okay. Sometimes they will say no, after finishing this only we will give. Okay, it's okay. Because what I did in the last exam also, like what I used to do is that uh, don't try to revisit the question again, because we don't know the time is a very important factor. For some people, they will quickly finish the exam and they will be sitting simply. Some people needs lot of time. It's very personally, it's very different. For example, me, I need lots of time to attend an exam. So I basically need to tell myself that, okay, Daniel, please go fast, or I will like lead the question. I'm very slowly I will process. There are some guys who quickly answer. So it's based on your cognitive set, your attention span and all, your reaction time and all. It's okay. But I always used to tell, while you are taking a question, deal that question now itself. Reading a question, if you feel that this is nothing in my area, please don't attempt it. Don't continue reading it. Oh, let me see once again now if I can answer. No, why thinking last exam? So meaning I immediately I skip to the next question. If negative, if for the case of net, you can simply guess something and click, because there is a negative marking. In the case of QET PG, don't guess unnecessarily. It will really eat up your marks. But you can have guesses. It's okay. For those which you believe there are chances, or there are 70% of chances, you can cut off the not possible options, and you can straight get into the you can have some guess. But otherwise, if some questions are completely unaware for you, please skip it. That's one possibility. Even sitting in front of the computer, first question you know nothing about, second question you know nothing about, third question, it's completely okay. Don't get panic. Even few questions on the screen are completely new to you. You will be like, what don't I do? No, don't get worried. Questions are that you can answer is on the way. Please don't think it like that. That is one possibility. Other possibility is that last day also few of my students were telling, answer the question, we will be like hyper motivate. I know everything. Next question, oh, this is very easy. Next question, very easy. They continue and they will like hyper motivated. Oh, this time I'm gonna get JRF, I'm gonna get that and this. Don't get over motivated too. We don't know if the exam is so easy. It will be easy for everyone. Two possibilities are actually dangerous. Getting panic if the questions are very difficult. One, getting over motivated if the questions are so easy. No need to that. Keep up your calmness. You can actually what I would use today. I used to slowly read the question. Slowly read means not in sound, but because in order to make my senses active, because I'm looking onto the screen. And one thing I want to tell you: carry your bottle of water and all. What may happen on the next cabin, or the people guys will be coming, they will be discussing. Don't look to their face and all. My only attention is to the screen. I am not bothered about anything. Don't show so pro-social behavior during the face of an exam and all. You focus on your thing. I am very selfish in that things. I don't know what about yours. Be focused on your screen. Whatever happens in the next cabin, or that person, one of your friend will be there. No, no, no. This is the time for you to. It's a very individual test. You may be preparing in group outside the exam office. Inside you are alone. You are one to one. So take that seriousness. It's not time to talk and say ha yeah hoo hoo. If that makes you relax, then it's okay. I'm not telling that you have to be so serious and all. Whatever, that's basically I'm telling, don't allow anything to distract you. That's my only concern. Take each question one by one. Deal with that question now itself, because you are reading that question, you are reading that option. Your time has already gone. Please don't think that, okay, let me answer it later. No, 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 no. You can do one thing. If you know the answer, click one of the answer. And if you're thinking about revisiting, what I used to do is that there is some options like save for later, review for later and all. I never used to use that option. If you are comfortable with using that, you can use it. I used to simply take my pen and write that question number in my paper. There will be two boxes. I will note it, those questions I missed. Unattempted, one box. On other side, need to revisit. Please note that question. Or if you can, okay, say for review for later option also you can use. Review for later option also you can use. It's okay. Because we don't know, sometimes some questions require more time. So we'll not be able to come back and recheck. So don't allow any questions to for a later time. If you are getting time, it's okay. Sometimes you may not be getting time. We can't predict. We don't know which all questions are on the way for us. Sometimes the present question will be very difficult, later one will be easy. Sometimes the present question will be very easy, later one will be difficult. We can't predict the sequence of question. So always keep an average time. So the case of net 180 times, or in the case of 100 questions, you will have, I think, 120 minutes. QET PG is for 2 hours, right? Someone please respond in the chat. QET PG exam is for 2 hours, right? 120 minutes. So the timer, you will be, you can't carry a watch. There will be no clock as such. Only the timer in front of your screen only will be visible. The timer will be running backward. If it is 120 minutes, from there it will be running backward. So you have to allot your, mentally you have to allot by the time it is like 85 minutes or 80 minutes. I will complete part A, or I will complete this part, or I will complete paper 1 and then I will move to paper 2. Be very, like, plan accordingly. And always have a very systematic plan. So that's why I'm telling you to take a mock test and all. Sit in front of, for the net guys, you can utilize there is a NTA app called, what was the name of that app? Forget that I the name of that app. Mm, yeah, NTA Bias. Very good. Thank you. NTA Bias. Download that app. Do attempt for practice test. So, and allow try to expose yourself to that vulnerable situation. Imagine yourself as if you are sitting in front of the actual exam center, and just expose yourself to that situation. So as like exposure therapy happening, will be used up to that process. So it's very important to keep the presence of mind, your emotional competence, your confidence level to be maintained to be optimum, so that you can function well during the time of exam. If sometimes the question will be very hard, you may not be able to answer anything. It's okay. It's okay. Sometimes it may be very easy. Then also it's okay. You do your part and get down from the exam center. Okay, if anyone of you need any personal assistance, do message me. If anyone need a personal one-to-one call, I'm ready, today, tomorrow and all. In the morning time especially, not in the evening, to be very honest. In the morning up to 2:34 I will be available. Evenings will not be. So if anyone wants to, only you can approach me. And so I all want you to have a very exam taking experience. I'm not telling that you have to achieve the exam, or you have to take good ranks, or you have to get net, but you should have good learning experience. You should have an experience that will, you will carry that experience till your lifetime. Some things that you, the process, always I'm very very excited about the process that you go through. I want to hear about your exam experience rather than the results. Okay, so may God bless you. I'm continuously praying for all of you. I'm also with you and like in this process, and seriously looking forward for how that experience is taking you. Okay, so If you have any exam related doubts and all, please share in the group. Sometimes other like I'm not getting all this information, others in the group can answer, or if I can ask somebody, and will report to you back. So let me share the PPT, and we'll discuss few of the questions, and we'll close today's session by 12:20 and all. So yeah, I'm sharing the screen. Okay. uh, yeah, so so everyone very quickly come to the chat, put your answers, so that everyone, even though few students will be putting it at time itself, I want everyone to put your options. So here goes the first question. Who coined the term psychophysics? Gustav Fechner, Ernest Weber, Hermann von Helmholtz, Edward Titchener. You can put your answer in the chat. So let me tell you, even though it's a very easy question, as at times when we are, even I even I face the same. This is a very easy question, but on the face of exam, sometimes we may feel like, oh my God, is it Weber or Fechner? It's very natural. Don't get worried. Don't blame yourself. Don't blame yourself. Don't feel guilty. Oh, I have spoiled a lot of time. I should have revised in the last minute. It's okay, man. It's okay. So sometimes our gut feeling will tell you. Sometimes our mind will tell nothing. Sometimes our mind will be blank. So yeah, put your options. Yeah, yes. Majority of you are right. Yeah, the person is Gustav Fechner. He's a German scientist, a philosopher, and experimental psychologist. He coined the term psychophysics. He also wrote his book called The Elements of Psychophysics, published in 1860. His work in psychophysics was really uh, great work. He developed like these methods to measure subjective experience in relation to objective stimuli. We know the method of constant stimuli, all those methods he used. And Weber is also German physician. He was also one of the pioneers of experimental psychology, but he is known basically for just noticeable difference, JND, and Helmholtz, who is that? He was also a German. He made his contribution in the field of perception and physiology of the senses. His theory of unconscious inference, vision, hearing, and all, especially in the area of perception, Helmholtz did his research. Titchener, we don't know. We know that he's a proponent of structuralism. He took structuralism into America. He developed the introspection and things we know. Okay, so yeah. Next question. Which of the measures of variability ignores the signs before adding the deviation? This is just given PG previous year question paper only. Which of the measures variability ignores the signs before adding the deviation? Standard deviation, quartile deviation, average deviation, interquartile range. Yeah, all those who know the answer can put it. If you don't know, uh, I prefer you can just put in the chat as don't know. It's okay. Eh? Um, yeah. So yeah. So yeah. Uh, the answer to this question is yes. You guys are right. It's option three, average deviation. So the measure of variability that ignores a sign before adding the deviation is actually average deviation. It is also known as mean deviation. It is a measure of variability that calculates the average absolute difference. Absolute difference means we are not taking the sign. The formula for average deviation is sigma x minus mu by n. Mu represent the sum of absolute differences, x represent each data point. Mu represent the mean of the data set, and n represent the total number of data points. Sorry, the sigma summation, not it's not sigma, it's summation. So I hope you know the formula already. So yeah, so standard deviation, quartile deviation, interquartile, all these three, they all consider the signs and do not ignore them. And we know all these take into account the dispersion of data value from the mean. We know that basically these are all measures of dispersion. What is the measures of dispersion? Measures of dispersion is the tells about how data values are dispersed from the mean, how it is spread across the distribution. That is what we are using these measures of dispersion. And average deviation, quartile deviation, standard deviation, interquartile range is all measures of dispersion. Okay, next question. What is a spiral shaped structure in the inner ear containing mechanoreceptors for hearing? So what is the name of the spiral shaped structure in the inner ear containing mechanoreceptors for hearing? For cochlea, ossicle, organ of Corti, oval window. So uh, while you go and practice the question papers, I will always used to suggest do study what are the other options also, and do study the background of the question. What are the major theorists and so that in that way you can actually have a very comprehensive learning from each questions. So the inner ear structure that contain mechanoreceptors. Yeah, you all are right. It's cochlea. Option A. It's cochlea only. So cochlea means what? It's a spiral shaped structure in the inner ear that contain mechanoreceptors for hearing. It's a vital component of the auditory system. It is filled with a fluid containing the organ of Corti, which is actually the sensory organ for hearing. It is located inside the cochlea. So organ of Corti is a specialized structure that contain hair cells, which are the mechanoreceptors. So we know that. We know already about the hearing and all the process underlying that. So these hair cells respond to the sound wave, which generates electrical signals which are sent to brain for auditory processing and also we know about cochlea, and inside the cochlea we have organ of Corti. And ossicle, what are ossicles? Ossicles are the tiny, are a group of three tiny bones. Three tiny bones. What are they? The malleus, incus, stapes, or the other name hammer, anvil and stirrup. Malleus, incus, stapes, or hammer, anvil and stapes. So these bones transmit sound vibrations from the eardrum to the inner ear. So their common name is called ossicles. So they play a crucial role in the process of sound amplification and transmission, but are not involved in the perception of sound. And the last option, or oval window. Uh, Oval window is a membrane covered opening that separates the middle ear from the inner ear. Middle ear and inner ear, the separation membrane is called oval window. So yeah, you can read this later. So this is not an option. This is not an option. Ossicles is not an option. The cochlea is the option. Don't forget that. Okay, now comes the statement oriented questions. So while you are facing these type of questions, don't get panic. And in the context of QET PG and all, these seems to be very easy. And one more thing for the net guys, if you just, I would suggest you go and check the previous 2 years question paper of psychology. So it follows a very constant pattern. There are a set of straight question, then comes statement question, then comes match the following, then comes some assertion reasoning. There is a pattern, and the question seems to be more simpler than the previous years. Try to understand that pattern. Many questions are repeating. Questions, not questions as such, but the concepts are repeating. The theories are repeating. The area being asked is repeating. So it's your brain, it's your idea to look into the previous question paper. So doing previous question paper do not mean that simply knowing the answers. No, that's not the question paper answering process that any layman can do. While you are taking question papers, do keep in your mind the area they are asking. Try to think in terms of the question paper setter. Imagine that, for example, a person like, okay, me, I'm setting the question paper the last time, this time, and the next. Imagine that you are setting. The last time also you set the question paper. This time also it's your opportunity to send the question paper. Anyway, one human being is behind this, right? Anyway, we know that one human being is behind this process, and he's a human being. He or she is a human being. He might be, of course, looking into the previous area. Sometimes, for example, the question previous time it may be coming asking the question regard cochlea. Next time the same question may be asking about ossicles or organ of Corti, because you can think in that terms. Okay, this time one question from cochlea came, so or some question from the hearing aspect, the ear structure came. Sometimes this time it might be asking about the eye. So do look quickly, look in that area also. So one of my suggestion during this last minute is, don't spend too much time uh, for the preparation. For example, oh, after taking this question, let me go and read the physiology of ear from the starting onwards. No, don't go for that. It's time to be very specific. Cut off the time. If you're sitting from 2 p.m. today to 10 p.m., within that time you should have some very specific objective. Don't go beyond that time. I know, we know that these all things are an ocean. If you go on reading that, you will go on like that. Limit your preparation and try to go more in the way, like, wider, rather than focusing only on one area. This is actually a danger. This is actually a danger. Focusing on one area and trying to dig deeper into that area. This is dangerous. We need wider preparation. Go around the units. Prepare from every area. Don't think that, okay, this is not my area, I'm not well enough, this is not my strength area and all. Don't think like that. Okay, so yeah. So statement related questions, let's read. Statement 1. Token economy is based on the principle of insight. Okay, reading this question itself, we know that it is a wrong thing. Token economy is not based on principle of insight. I'm just helping you to address this type of question, to answer this type of question. So while reading itself, we know two statement will be given and the options will be same. Both one and two statements are correct, one and two are wrong, one is correct, two is wrong, one is incorrect, two is right. So these are the regular options. While reading the question paper itself, statement 1, token economy is based on the principle of insight. Yeah, no, it's based on the principle of operant conditioning. It's wrong. Yeah. Biofeedback is the form of applied behavior analysis. It's right. And behavior modification. Yeah, it's right. It's right. It's right. Straight away. So don't read like, in the light of the above statement, choose the most appropriate answer from the option. No need to read all this and waste your time. You know about the question. The questions are the same pattern itself. Assertion reasoning. There is a pattern. There is no breaking from that pattern. So no need to below our one statement assertion, then comes a reasoning statement. No need to read all those. So straight reading itself. That's why I always used to tell, attack the question that time itself. Deal with that. Don't wait. Don't read and reread and going back to the next question, coming back, going back. No, no, no. That means you are wavering. Focus means focus on one question at a time. Don't try to go to the 50th question once and then go back to the first question. I would seriously suggest you, don't do that, because if you there will be a side, there will be a tab, so you can actually get into any question you wish. While doing so, if you go and just first click the sixth question, then you coming back to the first question, unconsciously your mind will be processing the sixth question. We are learning psychology. So if you are taking into sixth question, deal sixth question that time itself. Then come back fifth and fourth and one. So reading sixth question and you feel like, oh, this I don't want. Then going back to the first question, that's not, I would not suggest that technique. If you're dealing with the question, deal that. If you don't know this question, okay, you skip it and go to the next question. It's okay. In the last, if you have time, of course you will be having time, I wish. Then you can come back, then you can cross check, then you can think again and again, go front and back and all. Okay, so this question I hope everyone can answer, right? Which is the option? Which is the option here, answer option here? Yeah, very good. Statement 1 is incorrect, but statement 2 is correct. So one other thing I have to encourage you, I have to remind you, sometimes For example, this question, I know that token economy is right. It is the first statement is wrong, second statement is right. Don't fasten or don't while clicking the option. I would say check once again. Okay, statement one is incorrect. Okay, one incorrect, two is correct. Don't go in that fast in that quick time. Don't go and accidentally click on the wrong option. Even though your mind, even though you are right in your thinking, sometimes your action may go wrong. So after clicking also check once again. Okay, this one. Okay, then proceed. Okay. So don't make some careless mistakes. There are chances. We are human beings. There are chances. So token economy, we know that these are based on operant conditioning. Token economy is based on operant conditioning and behaviorism. Biofeedback, we know uh, it's a form of ABA, applied behavior analysis, behavior modification. We know what it is, so I'm not explaining that. You can read this PPT later. I will upload all these PPTs to your batches. Next question. Which of the following are true for the positively skewed distribution? It is skewed to the right. Most of the cases pile up on the left hand side. It is skewed to the left. Most of the cases pile up on the right hand side. And we have to choose from the option given below. A and B, A and D, B and C, C and D, and like that. So while while dealing with these types of question, while you read the chords itself, for example, which of the following are true, it is skewed to the right. So on one side we have to check in terms of the options itself, so that you have to parallelly check which all options might be the correct combination, because what all the in the options it is given, that can only be the answer. Sometimes we will be feeling, oh, both A, B and C are right, but in the option there is no like that. So in these questions I would suggest you try to think in terms of the option, go backward, because many times we feel like, oh, it's like only one option is right according to me, but two have to be right. Or sometimes we feel like three are right but only two are there in the option, either A or B or A or D or A or C. See, only these are in the option, right? So I would in these type of question in which you have to select from the chords, think backward. If you are so sure of, then you can go in the forward direction only. Anyway, tell me the answer. Yeah, you have to remember the diagram in your mind. What was a positively skewed distribution? The diagram comes to your mind, you can answer. Yeah, yeah, you guys are right. So first of all, let me show you the skewness. Positively skewed, normal distribution, positively skewed and negatively skewed. See, positively skewed actually show to the, it is skewed to the right. That means positively skewed. So skewed to the right means what? Majority of the cases pile up in the left. So the first A and B are right. So here is explanation. It is skewed to the right. Positively skewed is also known as right skewed distribution. Positively skewed is also known as right skewed distribution. The tail of the distribution extends towards the right side, indicating that majority of the data points are concentrated towards the left hand. And one more thing, mean comes in the front, median back, then mode. Mean greater than, median greater than mode, and this thing you have to keep in your mind in both positive and negative. And most of the cases pile up on the left, and yeah, so you know it. I'm skipping. We'll go to the next question. Again, statement oriented. Statement 1. Value of product moment correlation can be more than 1 in some exceptional cases. Think that time itself whether it is right or wrong. Statement 2. Even significant correlation does not tell us anything about the causal relationship between two variables. What is the answer? Yeah, statement two, I see, like, I hope that everyone knows it. Even significant correlation does not tell us anything about the causal relationship. I have detailedly taken that. Even both statement we have already discussed only. What will be the answer? Yes, as Amal has pointed out, it's option 4 itself. How it is coming? Even significant correlation does not tell us anything about causal relationship. Correlation does not mean causation. We know that it's a fact statement. Even though there is a significant correlation, causal relationship we can't find out between using correlation. So statement 2 is of course right. Statement 1, value of product moment correlation can be more than 1 in some exceptional cases. How in exceptional cases? That is a false statement. We know that the range of correlation is from -1 to +1, right? How can a +1 be more than 1? Correlation, the limit is, it is -1 to +1. Here is the explanation. In Pearson correlation coefficient, the range from minus to +1. So no one can go greater than 1 or less than -1. So that is wrong. So statement 1 is false. Statement 2 is right. So even significant correlation does not tell us anything about causation, because it is just looking about the degree of association. For in order to explain the establish the causality, we need to investigate using experimental method. These are the basics. You should not miss the basics. Okay. I hope it's clear for you. I hope it is clear for you. It's a direct question from the area of research, and so even so, sometimes the question will really persuade us. I would seriously will give a standing ovation to all the question paper setters. They're like brilliant guys. So some questions are really so powerful that we will be persuaded to think in some other terms. Oh, I think in some exceptional cases it may go beyond one. This is actually persuading us. Okay, even I will tell. Oh, is there some cases like that I do not know? No. Please believe in yourself. Please believe in what you have learned. One means one. It will not go beyond that. So that's something I want to encourage you, my dear students. Whatever you have learned, even though it may be wrong, sometimes in some exceptional cases it may be more than one. Believe if that would the case, but you have studied that it is the one is the limit. Please do be very confident in what you have already learned. Something that is beyond your capacity, beyond your knowledge, leave that. Whatever you have learned, stand in what you have learned. Defend what you have learned. Don't waver in your thinking. Don't think that, oh, it may be right, oh, it may be wrong. What if I'm. No, 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 no. No need to. So that's I always used to tell, be very confident in what you have learned. Believe in yourself, basically. You have done your part. It's been a long time you've been preparing for this. For the last 3 years you are preparing. You were studying psychology, or the 5 years you were studying psychology. Okay. Next question. Name the philosopher who believed that some knowledge was inborn in humans. John Locke, Plato, Rene Descartes, Franz Joseph Gall. Choose from the correct answer. Innatism, nativism versus empiricism, or rationalism versus empiricism. Answer put in the chat. Can you put the option in the chat? Yeah, I have very detailedly taken classes in the history of psychology. I hope that you will remember those area. Yeah, this is quickly a question regarding empiricism versus rationalism. John Locke, we know that he believed that uh, it was a blank slate. He will not come. For example, Gall, you don't know nothing about. Okay, it's okay. Plato and Rene Descartes, they are of course those people who believe that something were. So the Rene Descartes, so this is a very dangerous option. So those who don't know about Plato, so that's why I was starting from Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. Plato do believe that knowledge was inborn, but Aristotle was in the line of empiricism. I hope you remember those classes. So I'm pretty sure that there is a high chances that many will go with option three, Rene Descartes only, because people might not be knowing Plato. John Locke, they know that he did not believe in inborn knowledge is inborn. Franz Joseph Gall, I think he's a person from he's an anatomist basically, phrenology and all his area. So it's not coming in the area being asked. So there are high chances that people will go with option three. But remember, Plato was also a rationalist who believed that knowledge was innate. So option B and C. Plato believed in the theory of innate knowledge. Ideas are innate. He believed ideas are innate. Rene Descartes, of course, he was a proponent of that idea. John Locke, to the opposite, he believed in tabula rasa, blank slate, and all. Franz Gall, we know he developed phrenology, which was a pseudoscience actually. Phrenology, you might be knowing the personality trait determining using the shape and size of the different area of the skull. That was Franz Joseph Gall. Okay, next question. Which among the following is not true about learned helplessness? When these questions come, I would say think twice, because this not sometimes it is very difficult for us to process reverse. So what I used to do is I will look for the options which are actually true about learned helplessness, tick that option, and whatever that is left behind, that will be the answer. That's the way I am processing these type of question. But because it is very hard to reverse opposite it, we can think in, okay, what is true about learned helplessness? I can think. It's based upon your processing speed and your processing capacity. It's okay. So whatever your so be very cautious about how you are actually processing, the way your the cognitive processing that you are doing. It is very individually different. Analyze your self process. Analyze your own method, your own strategy. Be confident in your own. Don't look on others. Don't copy what Sar is telling and all. Be confident in what you have. Okay, tell me the answer. Okay, very good. Yeah, Martin Seligman pioneered the study of learned helplessness. Yeah, it's right. Depressed people often are in a state of learned helplessness. That's right. Learned helplessness is marked by motivation, emotional, and cognitive deficiency. That's also is right. So the only wrong option is option three. That learned helplessness people often set unrealistically high goal for themselves. So option three is the answer, which is the wrong here. Okay, so you can look into it later. We know Martin Seligman as a father of positive psychology, groundbreaking research on learned helplessness and all. Yeah. Which of the following is not true about client-centered therapy? Again, the same type of question. Carl Roger developed the client-centered therapy. Of course, it is true. Primary goal of... Okay, I'm not telling you. You guys process and tell me. So we know Carl Roger as a proponent of humanistic psychology, his self-theory or client-centered therapy or person-centered therapy. So it's actually a basic question only, but they're slightly putting up, trying to actually confuse us. Yeah. So the primary goal of client-centered therapy is to promote healthy psychological growth. We know that client-centered therapy focus on psychological growth. So it is right. Therapy creates an environment that allows client to achieve self-enhancement and self-actualization. Yes, of course. That is the focus of client-centered therapy. The basic therapeutic strategy is to remove and dispute irrational feeling and experience by the client. Yeah, there is the problem. So irrational feelings and irrational thoughts, correcting and disputing irrational thought is the approach of which therapy can someone put in the chat? Actually, what is the therapy they are talking about in the fourth option? Disputing or removing the client's feelings, correcting those. What is the therapy called? Yeah, CBT or REBT. They dispute. Yeah, REBT to be exact. Right? So they like what? They try to dispute the wrong thoughts. So this is actually not coming under client therapy. So one, two, three are right. Four is wrong. So four is right. Okay. So you have to be very conscious when the not comes. I have made many mistakes in which I would think in the other direction and we will make some errors. So don't think in that terms. Okay. Yeah. Next question. Two statements. Statement one. The primary goal of client therapy is to promote healthy psychological growth. The goal of psychoanalysis is strengthening of ego function and to promote insight into unconscious. Which of the statement is right or wrong, or both are right or both are incorrect? Quickly tell me the answer. Yeah, nothing to think about. It's very easy, right? Yeah, yeah, very good, very good, very good. No need of any explanation, I would say. We just now only we said. So don't think that some question will be telling, oh, it's so easy. Is there any trap? So don't think in that way. The, so the primary goal of client-centered therapy is to promote healthy psychological growth. Of course, it's right. The goal of psychoanalysis is to strengthen your ego function and to promote insight into unconscious. Of course, psychoanalysis is looking to give into the unconscious. That's the only method they have. That is the healing process. Insight into the unconscious. Both are right. So option one, both statement one and two are correct. Okay. Next question. Who among the following has used level one and level two to distinguish different types of intelligence? Straight direct question. Quick. Quick, come to the answer. Level one and level two intelligence. Yeah. So these type of question when they come, nothing. Oh, cattle. Let me think about cattle. Let me think about spearman. No, 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 no time. Level one and level two. This question is very direct. It's only sent by Jensen. Straight. Click the answer. Move to the next question. Not even 10 seconds you need to answer these questions. Okay. Next question. Which of the following is represented by the Greek alphabet row? So for questions like these, it will take time. We have to read each statement and to select the best or select the combination of sentences. So that's why I'm telling when these type of question come, if it is completely unknown for you, don't give the answer, move to the next question. If you know the answer, the moment you read it, click the on answer, go to the next one. No need to look on the other options and see alternate ideas and all. It's not the time for that. Okay, so we have to be very certain because we need time to analyze this statement wise question, combination question, assertion reasoning question. For that, in order to process the question, even we will take time. So that's why I'm telling when you see straight questions, that question, don't it's not the time to waste. Yeah, next question. Which of the following is represented by Greek alphabet rho? Product moment. It is Pearson's product moment correlation. Chi-square in case of cells having very low frequencies. Chi-square in case of cells having very high frequencies. Spearman rank order correlation. Again, it's a direct question only. Where we are using this term raw. Yeah, of course. Spearman rank order correlation, which is actually non-parametric test. They are using the raw. What is chi-square? What is the symbol of chi-square? Chi-square we are using lambda. Lambda. Rho R we know we use R used to like the R itself for product moment correlation. In the non-parametric version only, Spearman's rank order only we are using rho. Okay, we know that the explanation is here. Next one. Which of the following correlation explain the maximum variance? I hope you know about variance. Variance is simply the statistical measure which tells us about the how spread or how dispersed a set of data points is. That is, we always used to use the word variance. Variance means how the test scores are being different dispersed from the data, how the different data points are spread. So which of the following correlation explain the maximum variance? Yeah, of course. Yeah, option 3. Yeah, here it is like again coming. So option 3, 3. That is the right answer. So in the case of variance, though, here is the answer. Considering the correlation, the magnitude indicates the strength, not the sign. Stronger the magnitude, stronger the variance. So I have given what is variance. I have put it in simple terms. I have already given here. You can just look into this PPT later. Uh, yeah. So that's the answer. Next one. As per the law of parsimony, again a statement one, statement two, right type of question. People prefer complex explanation of a phenomena than simple explanation. Statement 2, the law of parsimony involves the consideration of variety of explanation. So this question you can answer only if you know about law of parsimony. If you don't know anything about law of parsimony, just skip the question. Go to the next one. If it is a net exam, then you can just simply click on one of the option that as you don't have negative marking. But for those who are preparing for QET PG, QET PG have negative marking. It's very dangerous. So please abstain from clicking the answers for those who you know nothing about. If you know about law of parsimony, of course you can answer it. It's direct. It's a direct question from regarding the law of parsimony. Yeah, I will explain to you what is law of parsimony. Actually, law of parsimony is the exact opposite of what they are given here. So as Amal said in the option 2, both statement 1 and 2 are false is the right answer. So law of parsimony, also known as Occam's razor, suggests that simplest explanation is often the best or the preferred one. Law of parsimony basically tells that we need only fewer assumption or fewer entity to explain a phenomena. The few is the best. Law of parsimony does not involve considering a variety of explanation. It encourages simple explanations. So the idea of minimizing unnecessary complexities in explanation is what law of parsimony is telling. But these statements, what they are telling, people prefer complex explanation. No, it's wrong. People, law of parsimony involves the consideration of variety of explanation. No, both are actually wrong. Okay. So you have studied about law of parsimony. Next question, match 1 with 2. Yeah, now comes the match the following type of questions. So statement type question, direct question, chords related question, match the following question. These are the different and assertion reasoning if uh, so these are the different question patterns usually being asked. Can you connect the options? So in the case of match the following, I always used to tell this strategy. Among the A, B, C, D, one thing you will be very sure of. That thing you have to take as an anger. For example, in this case, what I know pretty sure is regarding the regarding agoraphobia. Other thing I don't remember. And agoraphobia, I'm pretty sure that it's uh, entering public spaces. So take that as the anger. Okay, whatever you know about, then you can connect accordingly. and tell me the answer. Yeah, very good. Yeah, it's correct. It's correct. Option one only. So these type of questions always process in terms of the options. Look upon these options. For example, agoraphobia, I'm no. Entering into public spaces. Agoraphobia. Or acrophobia means heights. Or so whatever you know, some one of the all the match the following questions. There will be one or two we are pretty sure of. First check in the option which is coming. For example, agoraphobia 1, 2. A2 is coming. So there are 1 and 4 in which A2 are coming. Then we have to only look upon 1 and 2. We can delete 2 and 3. Among 1 and 4, which will be the answer? A2, B1. Xenophobia is means strangers. Okay, sometimes you may be knowing it, yeah, or annoying. So if possible, if you can get on once more option. For in this case, acrophobia, it's heights, we know, but in this case, acrophobia, in the fourth one, it is acrophobia stranger. That is wrong actually. So anyway, option one is right. Agoraphobia, public spaces. Acrophobia, heights. Pyrophobia, fire. Xenophobia, strangers. Okay, so learn this right now itself. There are many things that we have to engage in learning and relearning and revising. So that you have to do. Next one. What are the different following are the types of long-term memory? Choose which are the following are the types of long-term memory? Direct question. This will be the answer. Declarative memory, flashbulb memory, episodic memory, sensory memory. Put your answers. Yeah, it's a bit there is a bit of confusion here in this question. I think in the answer key, I think this is from previous QET PG or net. I don't remember the exact, but we know that sensory memory is not a long-term memory. So the confusion is regarding A, B, and C. Declaratory memory and episodic memory is of course long-term memory. So A and C is of course the answer. The question is where B also comes. So for A and C is actually an answer. But I have seen in the answer key that there are two A, B, and C may also be the answer. But I would suggest you are pretty sure of episodic and declarative. It's almost comes in the long-term memory only, right? Flashbulb memory means it is a special type of memory. Flashbulb memory is a special type of memory which used to describe vivid and detailed memory of highly significant emotionally charged event. It is a very specific form of memory. There are some, I think in the answer, I don't remember exactly. Both first and fourth one were given as options. I do, I like, I hope that both were like, when the challenging comes, it's a chance that flashbulb memory may be also a part of long-term memory. But anyway, we have studied that declarative and episodic is a part of long-term memory. So that's why I always used to tell, believe in what you have learned. A and C is the best answer. If A, B, and C also, you will be given the mark. Okay. Sensory memory, no, we don't know. It's not at all related to long term memory. A, B, C are the chances, but among that A and C are the best options. Okay, next question. Which of the following statements are true? This we discussed in the classroom itself. All intelligent persons are creative. Creativity is also known as divergent thinking. Creativity is genetically determined. Research is not conclusive about the relationship between intelligence and creativity. The question is, which all the statements are true? We have discussed the exact thing in the class. I hope you remember when we discussed about the relationship between creativity and intelligence. So if you remember my words, you can easily answer this question. Because the same context, the same thing we have discussed in the PPT itself, there are points which tells about the relationship between creativity and intelligence. Okay, everyone, please put up your options in the chat once you are done with your processing. Everyone, I want everyone to put your options. We know that intelligence and creativity, one of the person who done research in this area was JP Guilford, who proposed the type of thinking, divergent thinking, and come as a component of and all this Sternberg is another person who is connected with this. Sternberg, Guilford. Okay. Yeah, of course, the answer is option for B and D. All intelligent persons are creative. No, it's wrong. We have already discussed that. That is not universally true. The one thing that can contribute to creativity is divergent thinking. So that's why creativity is also known as divergent thinking. That is right. Creativity is genetically determined. No, that's wrong. Research is not conclusive about the relationship between intelligence and creativity. That is actually right. We have discussed about that. Further investigation is really needed to understand the connection between intelligence and creativity. So B and D are the right options, and hence you can go with option 4. Yeah, so yeah, that option 4 is the answer. The explanation is given here. So Guilford divergent thinking theory, Ambile's component model of creativity, Sternberg's investment theory of creativity, all these things are to be checked upon in this context. So one more thing I want to add as a for your technique also. Please don't one cautious one thing I have to remind you all. We know that these days we have the facility to use chat gpt. For example, I have personally used chat gpt to frame many of these answers. I hope you guys will be also doing that. But I want to remind you, chat gpt will give you, if you put a question with the answers into the chat gpt, they will give you an answer. Sometimes they will give you very convincing answer which is wrong. So don't entirely believe on ChatGPT, but it's actually a very good platform for you to check with your questions and all. You can utilize that, but don't exclude entirely depend upon ChatGPT. That's a challenge, because they will give you convincing answers with explanation. If you just ask them, give me the explanation, they will give you explanation. Very good, convincing, wrong explanation. So I use ChatGPT because I know the theory. I check with the theoretical aspects also. I check with the other resources, and then only I'm showing these answers. They will explain each options to you. You can give prompt. I'm using other AI apps also in this process. But I'm telling, if if you are using ChatGPT, be very cautious. Sometimes they will give you very wrong answers. So that's something that I want to warn you. But you can make use of that for quick learning. You can give me the theoretical background, give me so there are different prompts that you can use to quickly get the data. So that is something in the last minute you can make use of these resources. These are free for everyone. But this is the one thing. Sometimes they will give you very false answers. So, and for research purposes, I always used to warn my student, never use ChatGPT. It will create new stuff for you. So that's also another important aspect that you have to be very cautious of. So in the area of research and all. So for in that case, there are other AI apps which will help you in research process and all. So this is not my area. Let me move into the next question. We are almost winding up. Which of the following indicate aspects of language development? Pragmatic, syntax, imprinting, semantics. Direct question. Quickly you can answer. Which of the following indicates aspects of language development? We know the major theorists behind the area in the area of language: Noam Chomsky, Vygotsky, Jean Piaget. So do check with them. Yeah, of course. Pragmatics is there, syntax is there. Imprinting is nothing related to language development. Imprinting is another developmental idea. Semantics, of course, is there. So A, B, D, and the option. Option 3 is the answer. So nothing to worry in this case. It's a direct question. You can check with the explanation later. Pragmatics means the practical use of language. Syntax means study of meaning. Imprinting is not related to language. It is something that an animal behavior when rapid attachment. It's related to attachment. And semantics is the study of semantics is the study of meaning. Syntax is the structure and the grammar. Study of grammar. Semantics is the study of meaning. Noam Chomsky and Lev Vygotsky, Jean Piaget are the major people. And language development includes phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, pragmatics. These are the different aspects of language development. So, which of the following is true about linguistic relativity hypothesis? Thought produces language, language shape perception and understanding, language determines thought, thinking and language interact. We know about linguistic relativity hypothesis. Who was the proponent of that? Benjamin Whorf. You might be remembering him. Benjamin Whorf as a person who is brought up this hypothesis. So we know the linguistic relativity hypothesis. Both there is a vice versa relationship between language and language. Yeah, but these are very close thing, and sometimes it may be confusing for you. Which will be the answer? So here in this question also there are chances for multiple answers. So there are that is one thing also I have to add to you. In regularly in NetJR exam, there may be options in which we will feel that that's not the answer, but the final answer will be the answer which the NT is telling. Some questions will have basically some complexities. Here this question also do have. But I want to first of all hear from you which are the options you are telling. I hope you know about linguistic relativity hypothesis. It's an ongoing debate and research in the field of linguistics. So can you come up with your answer here in this case? And after that, I will tell. There is a slight issue with this question basically. There are possibility of multiple answers also. Yeah, yeah. So thought produces language. That's actually wrong. That's not nothing a part of the linguistic relativity hypothesis. The both are connected is the actual explanation. Thought and while thought and language are closely connected, it is not accurate to say that thought produces language. Language and thought are so intertwined that they mutually influence. So that's actually it's a wrong thing. Again, language shapes perception and understanding. That's actually a correct one. Language will shape our perception, our shape our understanding, and language determines thought. That's also right. That's a part of the linguistic relativity hypothesis. Language determines thought. So the linguistic relativity hypothesis itself suggests that Language is determining the thought process. Once language can influence or constrain the thoughts, different languages have different ways of expressing and representing ideas. So language determines thought is actually right. Thinking and language interact. Can we tell that it is wrong? No, it is not that wrong. Thinking and language do interact, right? It's actually a partial true. It's there, like it's not completely wrong. So if you go with option two, it's right. Even if some goes with B, C, and D also, it may be right. But here the correct option is option two. I think in this case also, sometimes usually in this case people will go for there are options for us to claim. We can do the claims. Uh, if some options are given wrong, we can with the proof we can actually claim. And sometimes NTA will give multiple answers. In this case, like if NT is giving 4, then 4 will be the answer. If they are giving 2, then 2 will be the answer. 2 is like more exact. BCD can also be an answer because thinking and language do interact. So what I am telling, in the 100 questions there will be, I would suggest a 5 questions which is not your fault. It may be the fault of the person who said the question. Sometimes the options will be very confusing in the sense is actually confusing. Sometimes the question will be very insignificant, very rubbish questions will come that will really will screw us. Very what, not keeping the standard, trying to intentionally make us confused. We will feel very disturbed addressing those questions. So I would always suggest my students to see at least a 5 questions in an exam as something that's not in your internal locus of control, that is beyond, like something that is very disturbing, something that you should not count upon. It's a reality. People, again, human beings are setting up this question paper. Sometimes there will be error in question paper, sometimes there will be wrong options coming when the answer key is coming. It's okay. At the end of the day, even the last time, a few of my students were telling in the net exam, even in the final corrected answer key came also, there were errors. But there are limitations. We can't continue fighting. So whatever the NTA is telling, that will be the answer. So I would suggest you. So that's the reason. Whatever you can make right. For example, question, very direct question, you have to make it. When the courts question come, when assertion reasoning comes, some statement related, there are chances that it may be sometimes confusing, and also try. That's why cover up all the theories, concept, technical terms, everything. So I'm stopping meanwhile here. There are many questions, almost 60 more questions there in the PPT, but I'm not. So time is up already. So I want to again encourage you. Cover up your maximum, whatever you can do from your side. Do it. Rest, pray, leave to God. Motivate yourself, whatever means you can have. If you have some breathing exercises or prayer or spirituality or whatever means you have, be on what confident and emotionally calm. Never allow yourself to get distracted or disturbed in your emotions. I pray and wish that you will have good exam taking experience, and I wish all the best to all those who are going to attempt the QET PG on Sunday and net JRF exam on the next Thursday. We have net classes not completed. Tomorrow we'll have social psychology. Monday and Tuesday we'll have the merging areas. I'll probably try to finish ASAP as soon as possible, and will give more time for you to prepare. So that's all. So thank you for joining. All the best wishes. Okay, God bless you.